So I got my van, it arrived, it got driven across the country from Maryland to the West Coast. And today I'm going to clean the van because it's got bugs all over the windshield. And I'm going to Home Depot to get some of the first tools to start the conversion. Woohoo! Hi, I'm Candace. I'm a lover of mountains and meditation and have decided to minimize my life, buy a Sprinter van and convert it into a tiny home on wheels. Having a background in interior design, I'm going to give you my tips, views and experience on design and how to project manage your conversion whilst being a total novice at doing the actual build. So there she is, back from the car wash, as in hand car wash, which is like washing 3 cars. It took quite a long time. That's something I'm gonna have to get used to. But there she is. This is basically where I'm gonna be building. This is my build zone. And there she is. So what I am armed with right now, as you can see, is tape measure and blue masking tape. And what am I doing with that? I am about to start marking out my floor plan. So this is my naked van at this point, and I'm about to start marking things out. I have it all sketched and it's pretty normal. This is my cabin of my beautiful Mercedes Sprinter, and so I've just done a Home Depot run, and for first of the tools I'm going to need, it's cold today, which is why I'm all amped up, but I've got her in place. This is the van behind me. This is my van. Oh my goodness. And I am armed with my brand new, and I love tape measures. Since being a designer, it's like a designer's best friend. And blue masking tape. I'm going to start marking out my floor plan. So when you're designing any kind of space, firstly you want to do these really sort of rough sketches on paper first. And in order to do that, you need to get the dimensions of what you are building into, right? So there's all sorts of resources on the internet. If you just go, for example, Sprinter van 144 wheelbase, you'll see the interior dimensions. And that's what you're working with, right? And then what you do, and this is what I'm doing, is I'm starting to mark out the floor, and you get to see all the little bumps and things. Any van is not rectangular, as in all of the corners are not 90 degrees perpendicular to each other. And so you want to see what you're actually working with. So let me show you what I've started with so far. So the first thing I'm masking out here at the back of the van is the dinette work area / bed. Okay, so what I've just started there is, that is the width of a queen size bed, 60 inches, from the back edge of the workable area to just past the wheel hub. Now my van is what's called a dually. It has 2 back wheels, so it does take up a little bit more of space, and I'm going to have to work around that when I'm designing some of my systems, such as my pump and water system, which is going to go on this side. So I'll show you how that goes in a minute. Okay, so I have done all this on paper. In fact, I have the whole design in my head too, because I'm a designer and I think in 3 dimensions. But for example, what I've just started to work on at the back here, I'm going to have a dinette layout that turns into a bed. Okay, so it's where I'm going to eat and work, and then the table in the center, right in the middle there, is going to drop down to become pretty much a queen size bed. Now, because I've got this dually van with these large wheel hubs inside, I'm going to get what's called an over wheel hub water tank. So what I actually had to do was map that out first. So that's what that is, so that I know what I'm working with, okay? And then over the top of that, I have marked out on the floor pretty much the dinette, okay? So what those lines are is going to be the floor plan of the dinette. So it's going to be a U shape, as you can see, and it's going to be on top of the wheel hub, and there's going to be all sorts of storage underneath. So here we have the first basic block planning. Okay, so I showed you the back area. That dotted line, as it happens, is a step up. Oh, extra blue tape on my shoe, which is fun. And then what we have here as we enter my kitchen, okay, that's going to be a range actually. It's going to be a stovetop and oven powered by propane, and some extra cabinets on each side. This one is a tall cabinet. It has the electrical at the base. Then it will have the fridge, and then it's going to have some upper storage. And then we come across to the entrance. That's where you'll enter the van. This is the other side of the kitchen, okay? It overhangs the step at this point, which later on you're going to see is cool extra storage. This is to the left here, right over here. It's going to be the sink. And then over here is going to be extra cabinets and drawers, underneath which are going to be some super cool stuff that I'll tell you about later. And there we have it, the first block floor plan. Entry, kitchen, high cabinet behind the driver's seat here, as you can see. And then we go down here. We will have a step up here, which there's reasons for that, I'll tell you later. So we step up, we're going to have all sorts of storage underneath the step. That outline there is the water tank that will cross over into the other cabinet. But otherwise those blue lines are the dinette. Work area. In the center there will be the table on a lagoon mount. And then it all becomes my bed. So the last piece of taping is taping the high cabinets and the incursions into the roof itself. And let me show you what I've done. Okay, so what I've started marking out is the high cabinet storage. They're going to stick out about between 9 and 11 inches, right to the very ceiling top. And I've tried to calculate a little bit that there's going to be insulation and roofing and a ceiling, sorry, here. So basically they run all the way along to here and overlap that entry just a little bit on that side. And then on this side, same thing. They're going to be deeper at the back of the dinette, and that line there denotes when they're going to get shallower down to that last bit before it meets the high cabinet, which is once again that little section there. Okay. The reason why these will be narrower, as in about 9 inches, is you don't want them they're kind of at face level, so you don't want them in your face whilst you're cooking. Okay, and then the last things that I have done is I started to mark out on the ceiling, right? So I've got a really big skylight that exactly fits in between the main support beams that I've marked out. That's going to go over the dinette there. And then over here, I've marked where the fan is going to go, which is going to be a little bit offset to the right because that blue line denotes the top of the tall cabinet. So there we have it. We have things, and it gives you a really good sense of the space when you do this, because first it's just a big open space, and that is the same for any design project, whether you're designing something in physical space, you're designing an app, like everything is design. I would say everything is design. Everything's design. So you start with a blank sheet of paper, metaphorically, and then you start to fill in the space according to the brief, and I'll talk to you more about that soon. So here we have it. Thanks, guys.